To the Wild and Scenic Film Festival Media Lounge. I'm your host, Elisa Parker. It's so great to be here with you. And if you haven't heard of the Wild and Scenic Film Festival before, you need to check it out. And you should come and join us. We're based in Nevada City, California, in Grass Valley, our sister town just right down the street. It's been 24 years. It's been an incredible experience thus far. I get to connect with and hear stories from people who came from all over the world, including our next guest with us is Charles Ellett. The film is called A Dairy Story, and he came all the way from southern Scotland here.
That's right.
Hi, Charles. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
You were saying this is your first time here in the U.S.
Yes, yeah, never had a chance to come before. So, yeah, it's all been very exciting.
It is exciting. Well, and also you got a little bit of a snowstorm.
Yes.
A little bit,
that
which
was
is unusual
most
here.
unexpected. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. Well, you're in a magical spot here. So for your first time here, it's a pretty good place to be.
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels very much like home. Got that same kind of feel about it. It's been a lovely experience so far.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Okay, so A Dairy Story.
Yes.
Many of us have consumed cow's milk over our lifetime,
Yeah.
and it's such really a vital source for all of us, for many of us. And I don't think a lot of us think about how the cows live, the dairy cows, what their life is like, what is the process, what is it like for the farmer. So it's a joy we get to hear firsthand, about that experience. So can you give us a quick synopsis too? Of the film?
So the film really came about because people did come and ask those questions, and the farm had been an open farm for about 10 and 15 years. We had ice cream being made on the farm, so that was something that attracted people to come. And when those visitors came, we gave them a guided tour and said, this is how we farm and why we farm the way we do. But then we were still in a conventional setting at that time when we were removing the calves after 24 hours of them being born, which is the normal dairy setup. And I think by engaging the customer, they then suddenly realised, well, hang on, why we didn't understand that this happened, and why are you doing that, and why are the calves not with the mothers? And the more people asked that question, the more we went, well, that's a good question. Why aren't we doing it in a different way?
Right.
Is there a more compassionate way to do dairy that can be a productive business, but also give us a good lifestyle, give the cows and calves more of a natural lifestyle as well? So,
What is the name of the farm again?
the farm is called Renton Farm.
Renton Farm
Yep.
is a pioneer for, you call it calf with
Cow and calf dairy.
cow and calf dairy.
Yes.
And it was shocking. I never really thought about that the calf is taken away within often 24 hours. That's how most of the dairy farms are.
That's it.
So the farm set out to say we could do something different. And, and so you encounter challenges.
Absolutely.
And pushback about why this won't work.
Yeah, and there were some farms in the Netherlands that had a similar idea, and we were able to go and research with them and see how we might go about it, but they weren't doing it on the scale we wanted to do, which was a whole herd of over 100 cows. No one had ever done that before. So that was a whole new learning process for us. And yes, it took us a while to get through those challenges and that journey of discovery as we went along, as new challenges were thrown at us. But now we've produced, we think, a system that is efficient, is valued as net zero and audited as net zero, which is just unheard of in the dairy industry, with the regenerative farming practices of managing the land as well as the cow and calf system. We've now got something that we can pass on to other people, and we have done in the last couple of years, where they can pick it up and run with it very quickly and miss out all the problems that we had.
All that you
which is
had
the
to
important
navigate,
bit.
right?
Yes,
And that's
yeah.
highlighted in the film, A Dairy
Yes.
Story. I mean, really what you all are doing and have done is revolutionary. And can you tell us a little bit about the typical conditions that a dairy cow faces just in the general dairy farms?
Well, in the conventional model, which I've worked in as well, and I helped run a 1,500 cow dairy farm.
1,500?
Yeah.
And they call them like farm factories.
Yes, absolutely, and it very much had that feel around it. And I'd started my farming journey at Renton Farm, and then went there for a bit of experience and knowledge, and I got that. But also found a side of the industry that I wasn't really very comfortable with. Overuse of antibiotics, animals under stress because they're being milked on multiple times a day in large groups that don't allow for social interaction. It's just survival of the fittest. The average UK dairy cow life expectancy is about 4 lactations. So if you imagine they have their first calf at 2 years old, they're then 6 years old, they're finished, they're burnt out. We have cows that have gone into decades. The oldest cow I've ever worked with at Rainton was 20 years old when she passed.
Wow.
And that's much more of a natural lifetime. We're very much a low stress environment where we are, and the whole cow-calf experience allows them to have natural behaviour, socialisation. They have, and the calves then develop those skills because they're within a herd that is multi-generational.
Social.
Yeah, and the cows themselves, it's really interesting, especially the cows are housed at the moment because the weather in Scotland is worse than this, believe it or not. But when they're out in the summer, the cows and calves grazing in the fields, we often find the calves in one corner of the field with a few cows looking after them while the rest of the herd's away. And so there's a whole dynamic there within the herd where mother and daughter and sister and aunt, because we're a closed herd and we've reared all those animals ourselves, are all functioning as one in terms of looking after the next generation.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful place.
I mean, it is. And I love in Dairy Story, it also highlights the human experience in this.
Yeah.
So, and not only is it better for the cows, but it's better for you, the farmers.
Absolutely.
And this in your life and how you're not on side all the time.
Yeah.
And then I was fascinated to learn, I mean, so this organic farming process at dairy farms, how the soil increased
Yes.
and its nutrients, that the cows were able to produce more milk, as you were saying.
Yep.
The longevity of the cows, like it actually, in the long run, you're actually have a higher production rate, better quality of life.
That's right.
Less stress for the farmers, less stress for the cows.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's been the fascinating part of the journey. You know, it took 10 years from when David and Wilma decided to become organic for then that organic system to really start to work properly, because the land had to go through a certain element of recovery from all the things that they'd been using in the past in a conventional model. But now we are, in terms of the grass that we can produce on the farm, that productivity's grown. But we've also done it without all the inputs that we used to use, and we don't now feed minerals to the cows because they can find that in the environment.
Right. We've
increased the biodiversity on the farm over the last 25 years, and that's been a measured thing by scientists who've looked at this. So we're not just speculating; we've got proof of this.
Yeah.
The soil organic matter's risen. The whole quality and diversity of life on the farm has increased, which is
beautiful.
Wonderful.
It's wonderful. And it's a beautiful story with David and Wilma.
Yes.
And Wilma, who's no longer with us.
Sadly
and part
not.
of that, too, was her story that's featured in there. And her need to say, like, okay, I want to create something good.
Yeah, she was
in my
definitely
life.
the driving force,
She
and
was the
that's what
driving
we
force.
find with cow and calf dairy. It's often the women that are the ones that want to drive it forward, because they understand that maternal connection, and it's certainly the mothers who were bringing their children to have an ice cream and then take a tour on the farm that were the ones that were going, well, why are the calves not with the cows? And they got that from the very start.
Yeah.
It's always been women that are driving it, and women was a big part of that. Yeah.
Charles, you came all the way from Scotland to help share this story. What do you want to say to everyone right there about why it's so important to see a dairy story? What do we need to know? How can this influence the way we're living our lives right now,
Yeah.
especially as cow milk consumers?
Well, I think we've had a lot of speculation about what we're doing, and we were often thought to be the gimmick, and we were doing it for sales of ice cream or cheese or whatever it is. But I think when you see it, you believe it. And farmers that come to see us that might have questions about what we're doing and why we're farming in a certain way, when they see it and they meet the cows, then they really understand it. So we're taking a lot of our time now to develop that whole market for cow and calf around the UK. There's 30 farms in the UK. There's 200 across Europe that are now following this model, and it's a growing part of the industry. And I think for California, that's a big dairy producer, this is another direction you can take that is very consumer orientated, but demand for this is going to grow over time.
Yeah.
And be ready to be part of the journey. So.
We are ready to be part of the journey. And real quick, what's the wildest thing that's happened for you and the process of while this film was being created, and the process and journey of creating this organic dairy farm.
Yeah, I think probably for me personally, it's finding my place in how I wanted to farm. My experience of being in a large dairy setting did nothing for my mental health, and now I know that I want to be where I am, and that this is the lifestyle that suits me. So it's been a very personal journey as well.
That's wonderful, Charles. Well, thank you so much for being part of the Wild and Scenic Film Festival and journeying all the way from Scotland to Nevada City, California, and for sharing your story and the others around this. It's really important. And I think we're all ready for the journey. And I certainly am. And you can be part of this journey too. Be sure to check out A Dairy Story and catch it right here at the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. I'm inspired. So many wonderful solutions to what might feel like dire in these wild times, but there are possibilities and there's hope. And we're going to join Charles and the journey with it. We'll be right back. Thank you, Charles. That was fantastic.